And recently, you are aware of the news, particularly in Tamil Nadu, about Andal. It is very unfortunate, but things will happen. That is Kaliyuga Lakshanam. People will say, people will question, people will say, there is no God. There is no God. So, this is not the first attempt. And even during the time of Krishna, there was one more person who named himself as Vasudeva, Poundraka Vasudeva. And he claimed, I am God. And also he put to artificial Shankachakra to claim that I am the Sriman Narayana Avatar. So this is the Kali Lakshana and Poundraka Vasudeva, because that was just before Kali Yuga Prarambham, Kali Yuga, just before entrance of the Kali Yuga. And now Kali Yuga, and this is not the end. There will be several people come in future and say these kind of nonsense statements. So let us not worry about these statements, but at the same time we have to stand and we have to unite for these. And our Santanam wants to say, So Santanam wants to say a few words about what is happening in Tamil Nadu and how can we at least show that we protest these kind of things.
Srisilesa Dayabhatram, Deepatyadi Gunaram, Etindra Pranam Vande, Rameja Mataram Munim, Lakshminada Samarambam, Nadhyamana Madhyamam, Asmatachari Paryanta, Vande Guru Paramparam, Yodikya Machuda Padam, Jayapurikvam, Yamahujas Taitrani, Tranamani, Asmat Guru, Balidosi, Daika Sindhoho, Ramanujisa Sharanam, Sharam Prakatya, Mata Pita, Yodayas, Tanayam, Vibhudihi, Sanam Videva, Nevena, Madanvyana, Madhyasana Kurve, Ramanathiravam, Srimat Tarangri, Pramami, Mudra, Bhutam Sarasa Madala, Paitanadasri, Bhaktisara Kulesega, Vivaha, Bhaktagrena, Paraka, Identivista, Paragasi, Rados, Rikyam, Anjugurikura, Dandariya, Alvarga, Tamsele, Injirikum, Tanmela, Pinjai, Paditale, Andale, Bhaktividam Nalam, Baditai, Maname, Madandi. As Dixit Swami told, there are few things happening in Tamil Nadu. Please raise your hand if you know about what is happening in Tamil Nadu. Okay. So it looks like some people don't know. So let me.
Fortunately, they don't know.
Fortunately, they don't know. So let me just explain what happened. So there is one cinema poet by name Vairamuthu. He actually went to a place called Rajapalayam, which is near Srivilliputturu, and he was actually invited by a newspaper company called Dinamani. He was invited to talk about the greatness of Andal, where near Srivilliputturu, where she was born. During that speech, he said that Andal was a Devadasi, and she was born and she died in Sri Lanka. But all these things that he told, apparently he says that he took excerpts from a research article in Indiana University. That's what he says. But there's nothing like that. So actually what happened was there's no such Indiana University publication like that. What actually happened was that in 1975, there were like few people who may be a leftist or not, they're not atheist people. They got together in Shimla and they started to write something, and it is actually based off that. And there is no nothing to prove what they wrote. They just wrote whatever they wanted to write. And this person, Vairamuthu, in the event where he should be talking about the greatness of Andal, he specifically chose this particular piece of publication, which he says it is in Indiana University, and he wanted to just test the water, how people react, and if they just ignore, we can just post more about Andal or Alvas or Nayanmas, whatever. But as you can see, in Tamil Nadu, protests have been erupting every now and then at various places, in Madras, in Madurai, in Trichy, in Vairamuthu, whatever places, all our Purvacharyas, the Mahans, who the Upanishadas like Sri Vairamuthu Krishna Swami, M.A. Krishna Swami, Ananta Padmanabhacharya Swami, everybody, to whom we have been listening daily in Margari or whatever, we have never seen those people talk in such a harsh way. And I was thinking, why should people talk about such a harsh way? And there is actually the dharma that says, when something bad happens to a bhagavata, you should fight for it. You should not just be seeing and say, okay, we just see it and just ignore it. As Hindus, actually I should not use the word Hindus because this word Hindu is coined by Britishers. Our thing is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means it is there forever. Sanatana Dharma, it is a way of life. It's not a religion, it's our way of life. And according to Sanatana Dharma, so according to Sanatana Dharma, we should all stand together as Dikshit Swami said. And this is not the first time happening to this. We've been just ignoring. So what I wanted to say is, I can tell you an example in Mahabharata where Draupadi was just disrobed and all the 5 Pandavas, Pancha Pandavas, they were just watching. And they say that they have actually are going by the rules. But there is actually 2 kinds of rules. One is ordinary rules and one is special rules. Special rules take precedence when ordinary rules have to be not followed. Okay? So what happened was Draupadi did Sharanagati to Krishna, and once she had performed the Sharanagati to Krishna, she becomes the property of Krishna. That is, she is a Bhagavata. So something bad is happening to Bhagavata, and all these 5 Pandavas are sitting and just ignoring it. They couldn't do anything. So Krishna wanted to cut their heads off, but he did not do that because he wanted to save the life of Draupadi, and he wanted to, there is one sutram that says, Vaitadu, Ivodia Mangala Sutra. So he wanted to protect Draupadi because of the Mangala Sutra. So what I am saying is, when something bad is happening in the society, we should all fight together, because this is especially targeted towards the Hindu community, and it's not happening just once, it's been happening for a long time. Especially in cinema industry, if you go to like if you just watch a movie that's been directed by any person who is not a believer of God, you can see numerous actions that actually defame our culture. Like for example, I should not be quoting, but I'm going to say that whatever happens, it's okay. So this fellow Kamala Hassan, right? Everybody knows that also. He's been keeping the names of, like, for example, Dasavataram and Viswarupam, all our scriptures name, and he's talking sometimes nonsense in these movies. And we still go to the movies and follow and say his acting is good and so on, they are going. We should not be doing that strictly. We should boycott all these people like Kamal Hassan and Vairamuthu. We should never ever go to the films in which he has written poems. We should just stop it. We should never go to and watch the films in which he has already written poems. We should stop all that. And even his son, we should stop watching all these movies. We should never go to all these things. And more importantly, this Dinamani press publication, right? Vairamuthu got all these bad things about Andal, and he also said one more thing. He said Andal is not a daughter of Periyalva. There is no proof. Even Andal herself has said in every Pasaram in Tirupavai, Nachaturni, he said, Battar Viran Kode. She herself has said that, but this fellow, who is he to talk nonsense about Andal? And he says, Nammalvar's Yapirakaram is not right. He is talking about Tamil drama. He is one who has been talking Tamil just for 30 years. And that too, Tamil or any language for that matter, only if it's destined towards God, it will be divine. Otherwise, it will be just waste. So, there is one saying, so you should always have your language to be used towards God. The music that they sang should be for God, not for something that says God doesn't exist. Not for any atheist activities. You should not be using your language or music or dance, whatever you think. So, he is saying that Periyalvar did not get a daughter called Kode. All these things he was saying. So what I'm saying is we should boycott all these people's movies and everything, and the Dinamani press. So this Vairamuthu, he just said and then he went off. And after maybe a day or two, he just said, if I have hurt somebody's feelings, I'm very sorry. And that's it. He did not even really mean that. So he just said and then he went off. But this Dinamani publication, Dinamani press, they published in the newspaper and everybody was aware of what was happening. So Dinamani should be criticized, and all our Purvacharya Swamis have said that we should stop buying Dinamani magazine, and those who work in Dinamani newspaper should stop going to the work until this thing is resolved.
And also Indian Express.
And also Indian Express, thank you.
Same family.
Same family. So
Get the awareness among all everybody.
yeah. So one more last thing before I give the mic to Sriram Swami. So we should all boycott all these newspapers and then cinema people, especially all these people. They don't know anything. So look, see, I'm even ashamed to talk about Vairamuthu and Andal in the same stage, because there is a thing. E Adavado Gardan Kedire. So which means there's a small E is a fly. E also has wings, Garuda also has wings. So can E flap its wings and say, I'm also like you because I have wings. Garuda and E, right? Anda, and I don't know what to use the term again, VM, right? And then Nai Adavado Narakesari. So there's a dog, Nai, and can it stand before Narakesari, lion, Narasimha? So it's like that comparison. We can't even compare all Alvar's works or Naikmar's. So one thing is, it is not just for Sri Vaishnava community, it is for everybody. Smarta, Sri Vaishnava, and all Hindus. We should all be standing together to protect our interests and to protect our scriptures. Otherwise, if you don't do that, at least this time we have stood up to the occasion, and Andal says, at least now we should stand up and make sure that these kind of incidents does not happen in the future. So if anything like that happens in the future, we should all be standing together and express our protest. Otherwise, these people, atheist people, will always be systematically planting these seeds which will destroy our community forever. And this is important because after 30 years, our children is going to face the same situation and even much more worse. So we should have the seeds very much laid correctly. And so with that, I am going to give the mic to Sriram Swami.
So Krishna actually says in Bhagavad Gita that of all the months, Margari Masam is the one that I want to basically be, because the Margari Masam is supposed to be so divine. Everywhere that you go, you basically hear Trupavai, you hear music, you hear everybody chanting the divine names of Brahman. But it's very, very unfortunate that we actually have this, what I would call as a scandal in the Margari Masam, when we are supposed to be thinking only about Brahman, all positive thoughts about Brahman. It's very difficult at this point. So, like what Swami said, and Dikshit Swami said, and Santana Swami said, I believe that this is all basically coming from Ajnana more than anything else. This comes with the fact that, oh, I have read something, so I know everything. So this is the attitude that is going on for a long time with some of these people. It's like, just because I have read few things, I know everything. See, our scriptures are so vast that it's like an ocean. And even for some of our Puracharyas, they say that it's very difficult for us to even get inside. And now you see some people who are self-qualified, specialists or self-qualified people who are coming and saying that, oh, this is what it said. First of all, like he said, the issue is in the mistake actually lies in many people. First, I basically blame Dinamani for this. First of all, Vairamuthu by no means is a person whom you call to talk about greatness of Andal. You can probably call him to talk about Puthupattu. Okay, but you cannot basically call him to talk about Andal. So first of all, the choice of the speaker against the topic itself was pretty bad. Second thing is him talking about that without knowing and quoting some kind of research. But there's not even a research paper; it's just a compilation paper. Like Swami said, is again such a very bad reference to start with. Then this happened within a room. and it looks like there were quite a few people who were offended even within that particular room, and they had actually brought it to the attention of the editor of Dinamani right then and there, saying that, oh, this will offend people. But this particular person was not, was cognizant of it, but he said that he does not care, it has to basically go. And the next day, Dinamani has actually published this in the paper. So there is a lot of blame to go around Vairamuthu for saying this, but a big chunk of blame also basically goes towards Dinamani for publishing this, even though they knew that it was going to hurt the sentiments of a lot of people. So today is actually Condemning Puyarvar's Thanachatram. I was telling Swami. So that Condemning Puyarvar basically says, இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கவாளுக்கு வாயில புல் கவி கடப்பார்கள் அப்படின்னு. So வாயில புல்ல கவணும் அப்படின்னா means they put basically grass inside, grass in the mouth அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்றாரு. So he's such because it's very important that as astikas you have to basically make sure that you are in the community of the bhagavathas. If anybody who is basically doing Vesham of Perumal, you should not even be near them. So the point we are saying is we have to basically be severe when we basically come and criticize these things. The reason for that is this is a sampradaya. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma is basically something that has been protected by all of our acharyas. And they have seen all of these things all through the year. I mean, this is not a question of Sanatana Dharma surviving, because it has survived much bigger Vairamuthus in the past. So this is nothing at all. It will definitely survive. But what is deplorable here is, over the past few years, we are seeing this happening quite too often. We are seeing this in the media. We are seeing where people, there is a lot of atheism going on, there is a lot of conversions that is going on. Hinduism is basically, all this atheism is happening only within our religion, and that is basically very sad to also say. All in all, we are all pretty hurt. When we were supposed to basically be thinking only about Perumal and Andal this month, it became like a very bad diversion for us. And we would rather actually focus on Perumal and his good Kalyanam rather than actually on this. But I do have to say that he has hurt, knowing he can come and give the sorries, but definitely he has hurt a big population of people. Not that anybody believes in what he says, but still you have to be very careful about what sentiments you basically are hurting. And he has hurt a lot of sentiments of a lot of our bhagavathas here in the US, in India, everywhere.
There's only one thing I want to say here, that is like, this is all a culmination of systematic attack, like Santanam Swami said, and we should not be tolerating all these things. This is all because we are tolerating these things. Even in a small setting, big setting, in a big room, theatre, that's all fine. Even when 4 people are meeting, if somebody says bad about Sanatana Dharma, we should stand and protest. In your Facebook, if somebody puts something bad like this, tell them, I have done this to my cousin, my own sister's sons, my own close friends. I have told them, I don't need your friendship if you're going to hurt my feelings. Doesn't matter what you believe in, you cannot hurt my feelings. You cannot take Sanatana Dharma for granted. That doesn't mean, we don't need those relationships, we don't need those friendships. What we need to do is, starting now, in Andal Sannidhi, we should take that sankalpa. We will not allow and tolerate this kind of behavior on attacks on Sanatana Dharma. It doesn't matter whether it is Andal or some other Bhagavata or any aspect of Sanatana Dharma. We will not tolerate that. It is not a question of a particular caste or anything like that. We don't want to be divided on all those counts. Let's all be united. Let's take this sankalpam to stand up for all these things and not tolerate these things. Tolerance has been our problem.
I am from Chennai. I feel very unfortunate to not participate in the protests in Chennai, but I am here. But I request all these my US friends to register their protest either in the Twitter or Facebook or in any other communication media available. Everybody should protest against the atrocities on the Hindu religion. And after that, all the things. Recently, one Mr. Tirumavaram, who is a rowdy in Tamil Nadu, and he has said that all the Shaivite temple should be, Hindu temple should be demolished. And he says that the Srirangam temple belongs to the Muslim, some ruler. Like that, the Kanimodi, the daughter of Karnataka, who says that why they require security for Tirupati Putti. And she has talked ill about Thiruvengadamudiyam. And recently this Vairamuthu. It's all nonsense. And Vairamuthu, it's all the Vairamuthu is talking about Andal Tamil. It is very well said. It is unfortunate that this whole earth is having Vairamuthu till date. I request once again to everybody to register your protest and whatever media is available. Now communication is very fast and US is very well known for it. You can communicate with all your friends. That's what my request, please.
One thing to remember is Andal, of all the Arvars, she is the one who takes a vrata for 30 days so that everybody in the land and everybody in the country will prosper. Right? She didn't do it just for herself. She says, for all the vrata I do, let the grass grow higher, let the nell grow bountiful and so on. And to kind of like take her and demean her is not good for anybody, not the country. So as I think all the people said here, we should register our protest. I think sometimes we just remain silent because we just think, okay, things will just die down and this too shall pass. But I think unless we are united and register the protest, people won't take this seriously. This will continue. So, Andal Kalyanam.
Andal Kalyanam. There is a general political saying: when confronted with outrage, first get mad, then get organized. Now the reason all of these people have the audacity to do all of this, and they have been doing this for quite a while, because they haven't really suffered any consequences. If Vairamuthu had said what he had said about Andal, about any other community, about any other religion, by now he would have faced very, very serious consequences. But we are generally peace-loving people, we are very tolerant, and I am afraid to say there has been a level of apathy in our community. So now is the time, now that we have expressed our outrage, we now sufficiently mad, we now need to get organized. How to make them suffer? Now, we never condone violence, we never want to condone violence. But you can hurt them on certain aspects where they will actually feel the hurt. For people like Kanimudi, she must face electoral consequences. For people like Vairamuthu, Bharati Raja, who came in support of Vairamuthu and all of these film people, ultimately it's an industry. You can boycott any and all films where Vairamuthu is involved. You can boycott any and all films where Bharati Raja is involved. Dinamani, absolutely, you should immediately cancel your subscription of Dinamani magazine. Please urge all your friends to do that. But in Dinamani, in interest magazines, they also make money by ads. Urge corporate boards. I mean, you have industrial contracts. Basically tell, if you put an ad on Indian Express, I will boycott your products. Then you see, very, very quickly they will change their tone. Because they have to suffer the consequences. Only then will actually, people will start respecting our sampradaya. Another way.
This is a very, very sad, absolutely sad incident. Let us begin by focusing on the positive things. We had an amazing function, and that's the thing to focus on. As Deekshita Swami upfront said, this is the nature of the yuga that we live in. And at the same time, we have a duty to respond properly and to respond to protect Dharma, which is our duty to do so, right? So we have to do that. All the actions that many of you have talked about is something to be done, and that is the best response. So I'll just leave it at that.
So the reason we are talking about all these things is because it is, we wanted to make sure that protest and all the actions are not just happening in Madras or just in Tamil Nadu. We want to make sure that everybody in the world, US or Dubai, Australia, everybody, we recite Tripavai for all the 30 days in Margaret. And we are staunch followers of Andal, and it is not just restricted to Sriveshwara, as I said earlier. It is for the Sanatana Dharma as such. Everybody, even it is who's to know that this Vairamuthu or any person like that will not talk bad about other like Shiva or Ganesha or Muruga, whatever. So it is, they may very well talk. So we just have to be aware that this can happen and make sure that this doesn't happen in the future, like what happened. We've been tolerant. People talk about intolerance a lot in India these days. We've been tolerant for I don't know how many days or how many years or yugas. It's been for a long time. So Andal, as she said, as she did in Varaha time. So the Hiranyaksha Asuran, he took her and then she was in the deep ocean. So similarly, in order to protect us, she has, again I think she has done something like this, where she has defamed herself using the cards of Vairamuthu or Dinamani as so that at least now we can use this opportunity and be united amongst us. So with that, I'm again saying that we should all be together and fight for this cause.
I have only one point.
One more.
Can I so I'm going to talk, everybody talk like a bhakta, I'm going to talk like a woman, right? This is not just, so in Sanatana Dharma is one that most respects women, right? Woman is even higher than God. We are all Sri Vaishnava, we are not just Vaishnava, we are Sri Vaishnava, right? And in such a country, so near to Srivilliputturu, a person has the audacity to go and talk ill about a woman. How dare he? And he is one who talks about Bharati's every other Pudumai Pen. He takes all those things for his economic reasons. If he has to make money, he will use the woman's sentiments to earn money, and at the same time, when he wants, he can go and talk ill about a woman. How dare he? This is, I want to register my protest as a woman, also as a bhakta following Sanatana Dharma.